and the 24th or 14th. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, this is Richard Fields with this week's Report from the Fields. CalExit will continue. The voters of California have spoken, and they will get what they have voted for, good and hard. According to early election results, it appears that many of the ballot propositions passed. They will all cost taxpayers of California more money. The only passing proposition that could possibly benefit taxpayers is Prop 36, which reclassifies some thefts under $950 from misdemeanors to felonies. Putting more shoplifters who steal $949.99 worth of merchandise in prison will raise prison costs, but it will probably benefit the public at large by keeping more thieves locked up. Most of the rest of the propositions passed are going to cost the many taxpayers each a little more and benefit a select few quite a lot. Proposition 2 would raise $10 billion in bond money to build more new school buildings. The direct costs are borne by taxpayers. The indirect costs fall to students who would learn more at private schools and their parents who would ultimately pay less for private education than they do for public education. The select few winners are building contractors and public education administrators and teachers. Proposition 4 authorizes a $10 billion bond slush fund to pay for ill-defined environmental benefits. Taxpayers lose a little bit each. Winners are the green news scam, climate fearmongers who would spend a lot on climate research, and the solar and wind companies and environmental consultants who are unable to compete on a level playing field with fossil fuels. Proposition 5 may be the worst of the lot. It reduces the majority needed to authorize local bond issues from 2/3 to 55%. Even if you believe the local projects are good ones, the sane way to fund them is pay as you go, not adding bond interest, which can make those projects cost several times what their cash price would be. Taxpayers lose, developers and lenders win. Luckily, this one seems to be going down to defeat. Proposition 6, which was marketed as ending involuntary servitude in prisons, it means criminals won't even be required to pay in kind for their room and board. They're in prison for a reason. This just adds insult to injury. Everyone loses. Obviously, taxpayers paying more for prisoners' room and board, but also prisoners who will be denied an opportunity to learn work habits and maybe even a marketable skill to use upon their release. Fortunately, this one appears to be losing. Proposition 32 raises the minimum wage. Winners are those low-skill workers who manage to keep their jobs. Losers are those who will be replaced by robots or whose employers will go out of business altogether. Econ 101 must still be in the curriculum somewhere. This one is losing. Proposition 33 makes it easier for local governments to impose rent control. Winners are those lucky enough to rent in a rent-controlled home. Losers are those who will be hard-pressed to find a home at all because of the reduction in home building that always accompanies rent control. Good news, this one is also going down. All in all, California voters have managed to add a whole bunch of new reasons for talented Californians to take their talents to friendlier states that are not California. That's this week's Report from the Fields. See you again next week.